SavePluto.org. SavePluto.org. Please go to SavePluto.org and make sure that we no longer have fireworks at Disney. Um, you know, it's hard because I keep on seeing that 4th of July is coming. It's going to be here before we know it. Someone was already talking about Memorial Day, like Memorial Day is right around the corner. I'm like, oh my God, it is right around the corner.
Wow.
And the 4th of July weekend's coming, and it's just going to be so terrifying for all these animals. I saw something that, I read about this stuff, and it was talking about that up to 20% of people lose their dogs and cats. Like, it's a huge problem, and it's mostly because of these fireworks. And during 4th of July, 4th of July is the day of lost animal. It's Lost Animal Day.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's heartbreaking, and for shelters too. I I hope there's some shelter vets or shelter workers joining us who can
Mm-hmm.
talk about how many animals end up in their shelters after a fireworks holiday. Um, but Disney can do something about that.
They could. I mean, all they have to do is stop using fireworks and stop inspiring reckless amateurs from doing this. People see Disney make these cool fireworks displays, and they end up just copycatting. And I hate to, it sucks that we're so susceptible to this, right? It's just like all these harmful traditions, we just keep them going. And every year I feel like how many years have you been talking about how horrible fireworks are for animals?
I mean, since vet school, we've
Yeah.
always been talking about it, and yet no veterinarians have really joined together to start a campaign to stop the use of fireworks. It's surprising, but I think we're so busy with just taking care of animals that we don't see how actually we can change the system.
But
We
all you
can,
have to do is sign a letter.
yeah, SavePluto.org. And right now, if
SavePluto.org.
you have not signed our letter, go sign our letter. And I'll pull it up right now to see who's signing right now. See how many we're up to.
See how many we got. Yes. On
Let's
4th of
see.
July, there are like how many animals go missing 4th of July? And it is astounding. Let's see, 30% to 60% increase in lost pets reported at shelters and animal control between July 4th and July 6th.
Wow. So we are up to, nobody new has signed today, and we're only up to 40 signers, sadly.
40 signers.
Yeah,
I guess everyone just loves fireworks so much we can't get them to care about
I know.
animals.
You see so many people talking about the fact that they don't like fireworks, but is anybody actually doing anything about it? Is anybody taking the step to even just go onto SavePluto.org and sign our letter?
Yeah, and then
It's
share
real
it.
easy.
Yeah, do a post about it. I keep on telling people, like, if we're going to resist the status quo and challenge it all the time, we have to have people out there doing it, standing up and making sure that we're sharing this stuff, and yet I have this hashtag Save Pluto. I thought that everyone would be really into it. Hashtag Save Pluto. I drew a little design. I made a post on our honor and on my Instagram and everything, and on my YouTube channel. And yet I haven't really got too much hashtag Save Pluto. How many people? It seems like such an easy one, right? Like, we're not even asking people to stop. I'm not even asking people to go vegan on this one. I'm
Yeah,
just
no.
asking, please just sign a letter to get Disney to stop blowing stuff up in the sky and scaring and killing animals and putting stromium into the water supply. Please, wouldn't that be cool? I think
Everybody
so.
complains about fireworks and nobody likes it. Yet here we are.
Yeah, it's funny too. Like, do you remember a while back people found that lead was in dog food? Lead was in the dog food coming out of, like, I think it was Pedigree or one of those companies. They were getting their dog food from China, and there was lead in it. And people were like, how can you put lead in my dog food? And they found out like that same year, well, there's also lead in your children's toys, also coming from China. Those two stories broke that same year. I was like, great, there's lead in everything. It was like 2009 maybe. And yet there's just a buttload of lead in fireworks, a buttload of lead. And that in Fullerton, they did studies that during the fireworks displays of Disney, it spikes the lead to this really unsafe amount. And so it's in the air, which is like particularly bad. And then all that lead just falls down on everybody. In Fullerton's close by Disney, and they were just doing fireworks studies there.
Wow.
And yeah, and it wasn't just lead. Of course, lead is the one that we care about, but there was a lot of other harmful chemicals that comes from these things. But it's so funny to me that we'll sit there and complain about there's lead in the food. There's lead in the air, and it's being thrown up there intentionally for fun. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to thank Stephen for signing on. Thank you. Now we're up to 41 signers.
Nice. I like that. I got my do you know what I got in the mail? I don't know if did you get yours in the mail? I don't know if you got yours.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Awesome.
Did you get yours?
I have to check. I haven't checked the mail today. When did you get it?
I got it I don't know, a couple days ago, I guess. I think it's
Very
pretty cool. Yeah. Vegan World Radio. I can't wait to wear it everywhere I go. I think it's pretty
awesome.
neat. Yeah. For people who don't know, we also do a show on Vegan World Radio on KPFT every once in a while.
90.1 FM Houston.
Yes.
Donate to Vegan World Radio. Go to kpft.org.
That's how you get a cool shirt like this.
You can, if you donate $100, you get a cool shirt like that.
Yeah.
So shout out to KPFT.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Vegan World Radio.
Vegan World Radio.
This is 1 hour commercial-free talk.
Listener supported radio.
Listener supported.
On the FM wavelengths.
Yeah.
I'd rather put FM wavelengths through the airwaves than lead, I guess was what I was going for, why I bring it up. Disney puts lead in the air that falls down on your children and harms animals, but we put good vibes through the wavelength.
And it's all about vibes, isn't it? Like, what are you putting into the air? Are you putting bad vibes, which are fireworks, bad vibrations, bad chemicals, or good vibes, FM radio waves?
I'm for the good vibes. I don't know how you feel about it. How do you feel about it? You like the good vibes?
I like good vibes.
Good. Yeah. I'm glad. I wasn't sure for a second.
I know. This is controversial talk right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are you for good vibes?
Are you for good vibes or bad vibes? Exactly. I saw this. So this is where is it? Hold on a second. I saw this video about tips to hang out with your dog if your dog is afraid of fireworks. Let's see.
Afraid of loud noises and fireworks. Some dogs respond really well to something called swaddling. You can actually put it.
You would do such a better job at this, by the way. I don't know why you aren't doing this.
Tell me what to do. Give me a script and I'll just recite it.
Yes, I should. You know what? Some dogs, I guess, I don't know. I should put out a thing on our honor or just anywhere. I just put it out. Oh no, because you got tons of Twitter followers. Put a thing out saying, please send me your vet questions. And then we just copy and paste them into a document. And then we just look over them. It'd take us like 20 minutes to look over them all. And we just figure out which ones we want to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have it. That's how we would script it. I can't script veterinary.
People send me lots of vet questions.
That's it. Then you answered in video.
And that's a lot of what I should be doing.
Yes.
there's a lot of people, I send a lot of emails, and if anybody's gotten an email back from me, it's like 500 pages long that I really should turn into blog posts. And that's
Or
another thing I should be
video.
doing. Or video too. There's so many videos that I have. I'm working on editing. They're already recorded. They're in the Canva machine right now, trying to find the time to add the graphic overlay to it, but don't
Well,
have the time.
if you didn't want to micromanage, you could just hand it off to me, and I could do it in Descript. And just
do it. Like I'm nobody's handcuffing you and telling you not to.
I just have to have them. Just give them to me.
Okay.
I'll help.
There's already, I don't know, on your Descript, can you see all of my past videos that I've recorded?
It's weird. You can only see in your Descript. I can see your projects, and I don't know, because you know how you have to go into the projects and then find the things. So not exactly.
Okay.
No.
I can share it with you.
Yes and no is the answer.
Okay.
But like,
and I also keep thinking, well, I don't want to. There's some where it's like, I know what I want to put over this video.
I know.
Don't know
that's
what
the thing.
I want to put
That's
over
exactly
the
it. You have to just let that go and be like, he's gonna pick B-roll that I don't always understand. That's gonna be the thing. Sometimes I don't get where he was going with that B-roll, but there's a new video out, and we could, because I do it all the time where I'll put something out, my last video, and the sound, something went wrong with the sound, and something went wrong with the layers on the intro, and I was so upset about it. But I'm like, you know what? That video's out. I went back, and I almost took it down and re-uploaded. But no, that one's gone. I'll do it again next time. I'll fix it in the next one. I'm making videos. We can't
get it.
But the point is, no matter what we use for B-roll, you'd be 100 times better than this guy.
Okay.
Plus,
let's watch him and judge further.
We're judging him.
It's wrong to defame a fellow colleague. We're not doing
I'm not
that.
defaming him. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Look at this video. It's a ranked video.
Okay.
This video has 1.5. Hold on. This video has 36,000 views. He's got 1.5 million subscribers. I don't think he's gonna.
Right.
Or get a product like a Thunder shirt.
He's doing a wonderful job. He's got a Thunder shirt on. He's probably selling.
This gentle pressure has a therapeutic effect on dogs who are really sensitive to environmental noises, but be aware. If you're using this, you shouldn't only put the shirt on when the fireworks start or when there's a thunderstorm happening. You don't want to accidentally create an anxiety trigger for your dog by connecting the shirt with those scary sounds. So make sure you have your dog wear it during times when they're totally relaxed as well.
That's a good point. I never thought of that. Put the dog when they're relaxed. You got to train them with this Thunder shirt. Do Thunder shirts work, huh?
Yeah, I am a huge fan. We had them in the shelter too, and we put them on little scared dogs. Love them.
I feel like I need. So, that. Never mind. We
also have to acknowledge that this is a white man who will be taken seriously no matter what he says.
White.
So, I mean.
Oh, well, okay. So, I have this theory about. It's not just about white men. I think it would be great to. A while back, there used to be a lot of shows about building stuff. Maybe they still exist, but there's still a lot of shows like home improvement shows. Remember, like a lot of them were out, and they work best, I feel, when a woman is explaining it to a man, or a man's explaining it to a woman. I think that is when it works best. Because if a woman's there and she can do it, that means white guys sitting at home think, I could do that. If she can do it, I can do it. But also you need somebody to ask questions. Like, even if I already know.
Or a non-binary person. Like, we're not.
Sure, of course. They need to be different. They can't be the same. That's all I'm saying. They need to be they're heterogeneous, I should say. Yeah. They don't need to be. Not to be so homo.
And we all need to have somebody on screen who we identify with. I think that's the important part here. That's why you have different people, so that you can appeal to a wider audience. And and it's not just a couple of bros,
Yeah.
Like vegan sausage school that you guys have sometimes. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's why you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to get a woman to show up,
Yeah.
and
Well,
you're
because
like
we
one
got
of the
stuff to do. So
That's what it is. It's got stuff to do. It's hard to get ladies to show up every week at the same time. I don't know. But
sausage
it's
Sunday school. That's our new name.
Sunday school for skeptics. Someone wrote me a thing saying they think vegan Sunday school is how we should keep it. And I know you're
No, I think we should change it because I want to people who don't identify as vegan to watch it. And because we don't
Yeah.
always talk about vegan stuff.
That's true. That's true. I
And
get you. I get you. Just there's something about like vegan community building though too.
I get it.
You're right. I want people to come in feeling somewhat more safe, but it isn't totally a safe space.
No, it's not, especially not when I'm there. It's not a safe space.
It's not a safe space for you, I hope. I try to make it sure that
No,
you're safe.
I'm saying when I enter, I make it not a safe space
You make it
for all of you
unsafe.
guys. I have
It's not safe for
I'm
non-vegans.
notorious for making it not safe for
Yes.
at the AVMA and any various animal rights communities. My presence makes things not safe for people. So
If you put your questions on our honor, then maybe Google will suggest a website to random people.
yeah,
It's true. That's why we're talking
That's
about the
why
blog, but I think we should do it with video. But
Yeah.
okay, so it's not just about recognizing or identifying with the person, because I think that little bit of tension also helps. Like if it's a guy and a girl, just two different people, like if it's bros, it's a black guy and a white guy, and they'll explain stuff to each other. I think that's
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's when it works best. But this guy, he says the Thunder shirt, and maybe he's going to sell his Thunder shirts. I don't know, but he's got 3 tips. That's tip number 1.
Well, using a crate is a great way to give your dog a safe place to go
I don't
in
know
the
how you
event.
feel about crates.
I love crates. My dog loves crates. Like I just leave it out, put his little bed in there. That's his favorite place to go, and I don't get it, but he loves it because
That's so
and
interesting.
honestly, if I was a dog, I probably would love it too because I'd like
I've
to
had dogs
be.
Yeah, you want your own little room,
Yeah.
right? Your own little cave or whatever. It's
Mhm.
mine. I live here. I've had many dogs, and not all of them had crates, but the little ones seem to love having a crate because
Mhm.
they feel safe in there. And people, it's funny. I have my friend Jess. He's got dogs. And I was like, get them crates. They'll feel safe when they get nervous or scared. They can go someplace and feel
Yeah.
safe and like cuddle up and
Literally,
call it?
I know this one
Hunker
lady
down.
who has this dog who she asked for my advice because the dog, whenever anybody goes over there, is barking like crazy, very nervous, very anxious. And I said, just get her used to a crate, and so she has a safe place to go and relax. But this person was so against that.
People are
And
against them. It's weird.
it's
Man.
like we're not closing her in. We're just giving her a place that's her place that she
Right, like a little
knows she'll
doghouse.
be left alone and she doesn't have to be anxious.
Yeah.
But she was so against people getting so these mindsets like you're hurting your dog by being so against trying this.
Yeah. It's controversial now. It's weirdly controversial. When I was growing up, all my dogs had crates, and my parent, before I had a choice, my parents just had dogs and they had crates, but what they never really did. So when my mom had bulldogs, she would stack them only 2 high so that they can jump into their own crates. But I have been to people's houses that are like breeders, and they've got a wall of crates, and that starts looking like a lab situation or something. It looks.
You're not doing it for the animals, you're doing it for your own convenience.
I think that's what people see that, and they know that there's no line. You know what I mean? There's a line that people cross, and I feel like it was crossed the second someone has a dog in their house, but other people feel differently. Maybe people will feel better if they use a cardboard box instead. Yeah, maybe use a cardboard box.
Then dogs who are anxious love to chew up those cardboard boxes. So
they do, yeah.
Which is in a lot of ways, I think when dogs do start chewing things up, sometimes it elevates their anxiety. They get into this like
Mhm.
frenzy. So that's not
Mm.
always good either.
Yeah, I've heard people don't want to play. They don't like playing tug of war with dogs because it makes them aggressive or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
sometimes it can, but I think that that's not necessarily true. Although
Mm.
sometimes they'll accidentally like try to rebite the rope and accidentally bite the hand. And if you
Oh
got
yeah.
kids around,
Mm.
that's always dangerous.
Or they'll try
Um,
to rebite. I don't think it makes them aggressive though. It's so weird. I just think that gamey dogs like to do it.
yeah,
Like pit bulls love playing tug of war.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I don't think it makes them aggressive either.
No, I've had lots of dogs love playing tug. Some dogs don't like it. Anyway, I think that this crate. Okay, so crate seems okay.
Of fireworks or thunderstorms. You can even put a blanket over top of the crate to shelter them from some of the flashing lights and loud sounds. Have your dog go into their crate with their favorite chew toy, or you can even take a Kong and stuff some food in there to give them a bit of a distraction once they're in. Another common tactic is to create some ambient noise. Put on your favorite playlist at a low volume.
That can't help. Put on your favorite playlist. That can't help
Yeah,
with the
I think it does.
fireworks.
We play
Really?
like music at the shelter for the animals. I
During
think they like it.
fireworks displays?
And it can help drown out some of the sound. I mean, definitely
you're
it's
right.
hard with fireworks. It's so noisy, but you know, it's yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that way the fireworks outside seem a little less startling. So I hope this makes the upcoming holiday a little bit more enjoyable for the both of you.
Perfect. I'm going to write, hey guys, hey, please sign our letter to Disney to stop inspiring.
And this is something that you all can do too. Go any
amateurs.
video where people are talking about fireworks and what to do. Let's solve the problem instead of just reacting to fireworks, and like let's make fireworks go away, that's like classic par for the course for the veterinary profession. We're always about like solving the problem in front of us instead of asking if it's even a problem that needs to exist in the first place. So
Yeah.
let's solve the problem. It doesn't
Nice
need
work.
to exist.
Hey, please sign our letter. There we go. See, I mean, we could do that. Like, sign our letter, savepluto.org. And I wrote out .org so that it doesn't, so it gets past the
Yeah.
the
It's
censors.
wild how few views this live stream is getting, like compared to our last one, and it's kind of funny.
I think just your ex just isn't pushing it maybe to people. I don't know.
Yeah, well, thank God for my ex, because that's like the one that's getting the most views. But
X has 13 people over on X. Yeah, not bad. Or 15 people now on X. But you know, I appreciate every single person who watches. Plus, people watch the streams afterwards. I mean, you'd be surprised how many people watch them afterwards, Crystal. All is not lost. You know, once this is done, it becomes its own artifact.
I just found I mentioned in this news article by hold on. This is not fireworks related.
Not fireworks related. Okay.
But I just found this is fun. Like, I don't remember this. Catholic vote. I can share my screen. We'll read this together if you've got.
Let's do it. Catholic vote. Okay.
You've got nothing else better to do.
I like it. But see, that would have been great video for you. How to get your dog to stop being away. And then in the end, you could say, and go to savepluto.org and check it out. You know, he didn't have any like proactive stuff to do. That's the thing. You would have a call to action at the end.
Absolutely.
Help animals.
Yeah. So this is just about the price of eggs. And then another post, our honor cited the work of veterinarian.
Hold on.
Dr.
You're not there.
You don't see my screen?
No, you have to.
Oh, because I need to add it to the stage. Okay.
I added it. There it is. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is this article, Catholic vote. Dr. Crystal Heath, who reportedly found a lack of biosecurity practices on factory farms, even during avian influenza outbreaks. Heath, the organization wrote, saw unprotected workers handling dead animals without masks or goggles, despite the virus's risk to human health. No warnings, no transparency, just the same old don't worry. I think that was probably something you drafted. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he made the news.
A veterinarian. Nice. That's really great.
It's the Le Monde article that they're citing there. So that's cool.
Yeah. Catholic vote, huh?
Yeah.
But what's their position?
What is their position?
Like, why are they saying something about this?
They're just talking about the price of eggs. Oh my gosh, so much Our Honor stuff. Like they're just quoting all of Our Honor's Twitters. Follow
Great.
the money. Another post, Our Honor cited.
Like, how do the
Uh,
Catholics feel about the ventilation shutdown?
I'm sure they would be against it. Seems not very,
It doesn't seem very
not
Catholic to me.
not very okay, I don't know anything about religion. So here's where you're going to see my ignorance. Catholics believe in Jesus, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Catholics are the oldest
Would Jesus
Christian
do
religion.
ventilation shutdown? No.
Yeah. Who would ventilate?
What is different?
Who would Jesus depopulate?
How would Jesus depopulate?
Oh, how would
Oh
Jesus
my God.
depopulate? There you go. Yes.
What's the difference between Christians and Catholics?
Okay. The difference between Christians and Catholics are multifarious, actually. A Catholic, first of all, there's a couple big ones. I'm just cover the big ones, okay? I'm gonna miss something, but the big ones is transmutation. So, like the idea that when you are taking the Eucharist, the blood and body of Christ, that it actually becomes the blood and body of Christ. That's a miracle that's
Okay.
performed by a priest every Friday at Mass or every time you take communion. So that is something that the other ones don't believe. That's a big one.
Okay.
The concentration on the Virgin Mother as the first miracle that is kind of witnessed is the Virgin Mother, and you get a lot of Catholicism is really focused on that, and it's where you get ideas about original sin. We're all born with original sin, the fall from grace, and the Catholics then have this idea of baptism because of it. So you were baptized in Christ because of being born of original sin. You are not an immaculate conception, right? You are not perfect because you were born with the dirty deed. It's not okay. And it's better to marry than to burn, but still it's sin.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and the other big one is what do you call it? Confession is a big part of it, right? You can confess your sins and have a priest forgive you through atonement. That doesn't exist in all the other Christian religions. Although Lutherans kind of have a thing, and they all have their own little way, but the Catholics, that's a big part of it is confession. And the last and most important probably is the Holy Trinity, that there is the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They don't all believe in that. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit is very, very is mostly just a Catholic thing. Maybe there's another Christian sect that follows that. I think the Lutherans do. But the Father and Son and the Holy Spirit are, the Holy Trinity isn't present in all of the Christian sects.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I went to Catholic school. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry for the diatribe, but
it's important. It's something that a lot of people believe. I really don't know much about. I feel like I know more about Jewish stuff and other religions than I do about Christian and Catholic stuff. So, but I'm not Jewish either. So
yeah. So the thing was, about Martin Luther and Luther. About Lutheranism, and that was
honestly, I don't know anything hardly.
So I told you about the confession thing, and that's all I'm going to explain.
Yeah.
Okay, so the confession thing. So of course, because people could do stuff like that, a lot of Catholics, they were corrupt, and they're like, now you can pay us to get forgiven for your sins. You can give us a little something, and we'll forgive you. And the Catholics ended up becoming there's this corrupt organization for a long time, and Martin Luther's like, no, we're not going to allow that. And he started what's called the Protestant Revolution, and because they protested.
Heard about that, yeah.
Protestant. They protested the Catholic Church, and they became activists against it. They tried to reform it. That's why you have the Reformation, but they didn't. They didn't work out. So they started cutting each other's heads off and killing each other over it. Yeah. Yeah. And then,
Couples.
and that was the big thing that America, that's just something that America was, it all kind of ties together, because then when people came here, Catholics and Lutherans could live next to each other.
No.
Even though they couldn't anywhere else. Ireland, they would kill each other. You couldn't live in a Catholic neighborhood if you were a Protestant. You would
I
probably get
mean, I
killed.
feel like it's kind of like Jewish people, Palestinians,
Mhm.
Muslims. We can all live together here in America.
Right, exactly. America was like, we're done with that shit. Exactly. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I think it's like, it shows that America was the one that kind of started that whole idea that you didn't have to hate your neighbor just because they believed differently from you. And so, yeah,
What
I
a
think that's,
thought.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
What a thought. Oh, and the Catholics also have the Pope. That's true. I did the Pope. The Pope, what he says on earth will also be true in heaven. What's said on earth will also be true in heaven. So the Pope, you have this leader who is ordained by God. That's true. We don't have that in all the sects. Not all of them believe in the Pope. The Pope's a big one.
we are now up to 42 signers. Justin, thank you for signing.
Thank you, Justin.
Really appreciate it. You know, and I've noticed all of these signers, we just have a little question on our letter. Like, are you vegan, vegetarian, omnivore? How do you identify?
Mhm.
We're not judging. We're just like, kind of noticed it only seems to be the vegans and the vegetarians who sign this.
Really?
Turns out
Mhm.
our last couple signers, all vegans. Why is that? Why aren't omnivores passionate about this? Carnivores, why don't they want to sign on to fireworks? Stop fireworks. It's kind of an interesting thing.
Why is that? Is it because they eat them? They eat dogs?
So if you're an omnivore and you want to represent,
Omnivores eat dogs
sign
though, right? They
the
eat everything.
letter. I there are plenty of omnivores who eat dogs and cats
Yes.
and all sorts of things. Like
Maybe they'll care about the fireworks though.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're omnivore and want to represent that you are against fireworks, sign our letter.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know that. I don't know. Do you think it? I've asked this question for so many years. Do you think that it's more likely for a vegan to be an activist or an activist to be vegan? Do you know what I mean?
I kind of had this view of like, get people involved into a campaign. They will meet other people who will help shape their dietary habits. Because I think everybody wants to be vegan deep down. Nobody wants to hurt animals, but
Yeah.
it's just like when your social circle is surrounded by a bunch of people who eat animals, and you're like, well, what difference is it going to make whether I change my habits? Because ultimately, the meat companies take my money whether I buy their products or not. What difference does it make? It's just kind of like the idea, like your personal habits don't make a change. Where I think, vegans, we have come to believe that our personal habits do make a change, and we get so disgusted by the way things are. We're like, I'm going against the grain. It's the whole, I don't care that all my friends are making fun of me for not eating meat, and I am going to do it anyway. And so it's just just not being willing to go along with the flow and wanting to make a difference. And, I think that there's a little bit of that.
So I guess like that bucking the mainstream and that type of stuff. I wonder, like, because so every morning I watch the news and I like to watch what other people are protesting, and there's a lot going on about Tesla and stuff right now. Not to bring up, I know it's a sore subject, but it's but I wonder
if anybody who doesn't know, I drive a Tesla.
Why do you have to tell people? I think we just lost a bunch of viewers.
Still same number of viewers. I'm not like pro corporate.
No, I didn't want to actually get into that again.
Anyway, okay.
We could do it on Sunday. I can ridicule you on Sunday for.
I feel like it's the same circular argument over and over again. So.
Circular? No, I'm not even going to take that bait. I don't think it's circular at all. But if we were in, never mind. You're baiting me. I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it. What I was trying to say is I see all the people in the streets on TV about the Teslas, and I also see people are lighting Teslas on fire, and I see people are lighting the charging stations on fire, and people are spray painting swastikas on Teslas. Yeah, I would be afraid to drive one right now just because people are literally shooting at parked Teslas, shooting guns at Teslas. Like,
I'm not
luckily,
afraid.
they've all been, you're not afraid. Luckily, they've all been empty so far. So, as fearless as you might be, that you still might be in danger, but that's also, I'm not going to take that bait either, Crystal. My point is that I wonder if all those people who are protesting, all those people who are spray painting on Teslas and they've gotten a hair up their ass, they're angry about something and they're actually doing it. They're doing something.
Are
Now,
they all vegans?
I wonder if they're more likely to become vegan because they are willing to do something. They've identified, right or wrong, not taking the bait. They don't like what's going on.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to get in the street.
Yeah.
They have pamphlets to people that are saying, sell your Tesla. Or trade. They have all these things about how to trade in your Tesla so that you don't get screwed. Because if you trade in your Tesla at a place that is selling EVs, that you're more likely to get a higher resale value, even though the resale values are plummeting. Anyway, I read it, and there's a swastika on it and stuff. Yeah, and it says, "Sell your Tesla. Don't be a swastika car. Don't drive a swastika car." And but those people who are handing out those pamphlets, they're doing something. Would those people be more likely to sign the Pluto letter?
Yeah.
Would those people be more likely to change their dietary habits and actually acknowledge that animals are individuals with the right to live and be free?
An interesting thing is that's how cults, like cults love these groups of people who are willing to go do these sorts of things, and they outreach and try to get those sorts of people. So there's something to that too.
Well, I guess if you're a charismatic person,
Yeah.
like a cult leader, you'll be able to help direct that energy into
Yeah.
something. But I think that's why they do it. But I don't think those people are more susceptible. I just think that they're more valuable to the cult,
I think cults. Well, what do cults love? They love people who are open-minded,
Yeah.
who are passionate about a thing and willing to go against like all their family members who say like, "Hey, that's a cult." Like you stay away from, like, don't get arrested for the whatever. They're willing to do their own thing, but so they and then they find this group of people who think like them, and it's like, oh, I found my people, and it then creates this whole thing, which can be very scary, and they can be then manipulated, and then if you don't go along with what your newfound tribe says, then you are ostracized, which can
That's
be
true with
very
any
hard
tribe,
too.
though. That's true with
Yeah.
any tribe. That's not particular to a cult. It could be a political party or anybody. If you're not fitting with their kind of platform, then you're
One
out.
of the cult dynamics, though, is high exit costs.
Yes, that's
is the
true.
thing.
Okay, but if we look at just veganism as a point of view and philosophical stance, and that manifests itself in outward actions like dietary change and lifestyle change, then would somebody who's clearly willing to go a little far, I would say, if you are lighting a Tesla on fire, or even if you're standing out with a group in front of a Tesla dealership, are those people more likely, if you went up to them and you said, "Hey, animals are being abused," do you think they'd care? Do you think they'd be more likely to care? I guess it's.
I think they would. I think you should go there and pass out flyers and see if you can get them to sign on to SavePluto.org. And I think everybody should go to your local protest and be like, "Hey, y'all, also sign on to this. Here's a QR code. Scan it with your iPhone that was made by slave children in China."
Well, that they might know iPhones are not made by slave children in China. That's not true. But some of the minerals that are in an iPhone might have been mined by slave children. Slave children don't make high-tech things. They make like your mask, your N95
Mm.
masks. That's what slave kids make. Stuff that's
Okay.
easy to make. But
We've got a new signer. Thank you. Oh, Lisa and Jonathan. I
Johnny
really
wanted to
appreciate
know,
it.
how come you have to put your address on there? Do you have to put your address on there?
No, it's not mandatory, and many people don't put their address on there.
Okay, you don't have to put your address on there.
So it's just
But
if you want to be on our mailing list, so we can inform you of local stuff and maybe send you stuff every now and then.
Mhm.
Do
Okay,
it.
so Crystal must have a Cybertruck. No, she doesn't have a
No, I
Cybertruck.
don't.
Don't tell her. Don't tell anyone which model you have. It's weird.
No, I'm not
Disney
gonna
is
tell.
Disney is international, and people from around the world visit their parks. Exactly. We're hoping that that's why, if we can build enough momentum and people signing on to the letter, that it will actually matter, and people will they'll start feeling the pressure. It doesn't take that much to push a company like Disney, actually, especially since they are investing in drones. They just need the push. They need the political motivation to make a change, like a lot. We talk, with protest. I saw this thing where people who are having those fights and don't see the political will, when they see protests, it makes it easier for them to fight when they are in the halls of legislature or whatever. And I think the same thing goes with companies. Like, I know this because if you are a company that doesn't have, I don't know, that's doing something that people disagree with, but the CEO or somebody there, people management, they might agree with the protester, but they're not doing it because they're making decisions for the stakeholders, the other stakeholders. But if they see that there's political will, they
Yeah,
can sell that to the stakeholders more easily. And
absolutely. Yeah, when there's an uprising, and just the winds are changing.
yeah,
Like
we have to adjust.
how are the winds blowing? Like we've got to adjust to this.
And that's your job as a manager, to kind of measure those wins.
Yeah.
I think so anyway. Do you I you made me think about, if you go to a protest, because during BLM in 2020-ish.
Oh, yeah, don't co-op. I
Don't
feel
go
like
there.
you
Don't
could
do that.
co-opt the Tesla protest for your own cause. I wouldn't co-opt the BLM or the Palestine protests for your
No.
own cause.
No, not Palestine, for sure not. Don't do. I'm really worried about the Palestine protests right now, because Khalil, what's his name? Mahmoud Khalil, he is disappeared. They think he's in Louisiana.
Who
But
is this guy again? I'm sorry, I don't follow the news
he
except for H5N1.
he he organized the campaign of Palestinian liberation at Columbia University, which famously had the tents, and then the cops came and pushed them out and everything. That was about a year ago, and a couple days ago, someone knocked on his door early in the morning, in the middle of the night, basically, and they took him.
Wow.
They disappeared him. They said that they're revoking his student visa. He said, "I don't have a student visa. I have a permanent residency. I have a green card, and I have a wife who's 8 months pregnant." And they said, "Come with me." And they took him. And they have not charged him with a crime. And you do need to have been charged with a crime and convicted of a crime to be deported when you have a green card. You have to have a good reason to get rid of someone with a green card. But he hasn't been charged. And as far as I know, nothing that he's done is a crime, although they're saying that he has aligned himself with Hamas and therefore is considered a criminal. So it bothers me now, because the movement for the liberation of Palestine is now a movement about freedom of speech. And that, I think, is a scary place, because these movements are coming together, and it's becoming it might reach this critical mass where there's extra violence, and it's scary to me.
Yeah. There might be civil unrest.
They might do a civil unrest.
Shall we start playing the Sky is Scared drinking game?
Yes.
Every time you say it's scary to me.
It's scary to me. I want to go. Should we co-opt it into? Should I go there and see if they'll think about veganism?
Free speech, Tesla, and ban fireworks. I mean, it
Yes.
goes together like
It goes together.
peanut butter and jelly. So
Yes, I think so.
do it.
For sure.
With your
I'll get the.
Pluto shirt, your Save Pluto shirt. We should probably sell some Save Pluto shirts. I
I'll
feel
bring my
like this-
Save Pluto shirt. Yeah, and a pamphlet that says, "Hey, Tesla protesters, have you thought about Disney banning fireworks? Hey, Palestine Liberation Movement folks, have you thought about sticking it to Disney?"
I would probably stay away from that one.
You,
feel like-
you don't think that they'd be on board?
I'm sure they would be, but I would not use their movement to advance your cause. I would just be like, respect. I don't know. Maybe walk around with your t-shirt, but I wouldn't.
Oh,
push
there we go.
it
Just wear a
there.
t-shirt to it. SavePluto.org. I like it. Okay. The t-shirts as far as you go. Got it.
Yeah.
Next up, visit their dog is scared. Their dog is scared of fireworks. That's sad. That's sad. I think I saw this video right here. This is another little video about.
Oh, sorry. I need to unshare my screen there.
There we go.
Bella, Jethro, and Ted start to fear and suspect. Frighteningly loud bangs, pops, and whizzes are the reason. You can provide Adaptil Calm for
What
your
is
dog
this?
this fireworks season. To find out more, visit
What is that? How does it make them calm?
It's like pheromones, like Feel Away is one for cats. I don't
What?
think it works as well as Feel Away does in cats. Feel Away is a feline pheromone, but I have used it in the shelter, and some people say that it does work a little bit.
What's
But
it
I
do to
think
humans?
when fireworks season comes,
Yeah.
the CBD ain't gonna work. That pheromone isn't gonna work. You need some trazodone. Get from your vet some trazodone, some gabapentin, sedatives. That'll really do the trick.
Adaptil. So, do you find it weird that we're putting dogs into houses and we're drugging them in the air, like we're filling the air with drugs?
I mean, we do lots of weird things. Do you feel it weird that we're like talking via the internet right now?
Yeah,
I
a little
mean-
bit, but I mean, it doesn't involve any other species, so I feel like it's not like I'm not doing this in order to like I'm doing this to free animals and make them not harmed. I'm trying to protect animals instead of I don't know. You
But,
don't think
I
it's a
mean,
little
Out in the wild, you have a wolf, and I've seen tons of coyotes. They're covered in mange and they've got wounds from fighting. I think, and you've seen those cute videos of somebody who's befriended a coyote, and people always joke that coyote is like, "Please, sir, domesticate me. I'm tired of the cold." I
Please
think there's some
domesticate
truth
me.
to that. I think if we could do it in a way where we're not causing them harm, and it's like, yeah, it's cool living with these humans, way better than my life out there in the wild where I'm like chased and I get parasites and I end up dying of diarrhea and an infected tooth or something. Like, that's for the better. But of course, humans, we have a tendency to ruin stuff. Like, and even people have children and don't care for them, and it's
I mean, I guess in
sad.
the gestation crate, the pigs get fed, so they don't have to worry about
Yeah, but I
predators.
think there's
they don't have to worry
ways to
about
do it where they're also allowed the ability to be a pig and move around and root and with their snouts and feel the grass and everything, which they don't get a chance to in the gestation crates. So we could be doing much better for those pigs for sure. And
But, I mean,
it's also wrong to kill somebody for profit.
Yes.
So there's that.
I guess we're generally not killing dogs for profit in America, generally, but that we do, of course, with dog fighting and other reasons.
Well, in labs, they kill dogs
Labs,
for
right.
profit.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I feel like that line gets crossed and we're just always playing catch up. But I
Mhm.
mean, I do think that if dogs in the wild also are affected by fireworks, for me, it's just like
Yeah.
so many wild animals are killed and harmed because of fireworks. Birds wake up and they fly and freak out, and they're not prepared to be flying at night because they're daytime birds, and they just fly into stuff and die because we had to wake them up with loud giant explosions in the sky. It
Mhm.
seems like a no-brainer to me. I don't know. Do you want to see the PETA video about fireworks?
Sure. Let's see. Let's criticize PETA.
This is PETA's 1-minute video about fireworks. Dogs' large, often floppy ears are like funnels for noise. Oh, they're blaming the poor dog's ears.
We could always crop their ears and
Oh,
make it better.
does that make it better?
I
I
don't
wouldn't
think it
imagine
does.
it would. No, I don't think so. Amplifying sound waves as they travel into the ear canal.
Mm.
Dogs can isolate how each ear experiences 18 ear muscles. Their long ear canals deliver sound waves to small bones in the inner ear. That's how ours work.
Yeah.
These bones in dogs' ears intensifying sound. So you get the same sounds, just much louder. Jeez. Stay indoors and play soothing music is their answer. And make sure you assure them that everything is okay. Is that going to do it? I don't know.
PETA, where's my PETA vibes here? This is something that the AVMA could be putting out. I want PETA's brand on this, which PETA would be like, ban fireworks. And we're the only ones out here saying, hey, let's join together. Let's join vets together and ban fireworks. It's crazy.
Ban fireworks. Yeah, why wouldn't PETA say ban fireworks? Instead, it's like, oh, make sure you tell your dog it's okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Jamie, for also signing on.
It doesn't seem very PETA-y, right?
Yeah, we're now up to 45 signers.
What about, are there doggy ear protectors? I saw one for horses. Horses have ear protectors. Race horses do.
Yeah, like the cotton that you put in the ears. I think it would be hard to keep it in without some contraption device that you strap around their head. I'm actually surprised that's not a thing somebody's invented, though.
Why would they figure that out?
But I'm sure the dog would be like, horses can't exactly do this.
Right. Horses are kind of...
But horses could rub it off.
Well, horses, they look like wine corks. They look like big wine corks they put in their
big,
ears.
like cotton balls, and then they put the bonnet over that keeps it in place too.
Right. They've got a whole kind of torture device on their head that makes them look pretty... yeah, that was fun. That video that you sent me with the horse with the red headgear.
Were we going to discuss that last week or this week?
We were, but we were going to discuss it during Vegan Sunday School. And I had it queued up. I had a lot of stuff queued up this week, but you showed up at a weird time, and then it was like, and then I forget. We just ended up on some tangent, and it didn't go that way.
It went off the rails and an hour too long. And
I was trying to keep everything organized, but then. Yeah, it's hard to know when everyone's going to show up, since it's so willy-nilly.
Probably not going to show up until 11 or 12, but also
maybe we should just do it at 11 or 12 instead of 10. Originally, it was a 1 o'clock thing because that's when Sunday school usually is. But I don't know. You didn't go to any religious stuff when you were a kid, huh? You didn't do any of the Sunday school?
I went to like a preschool that was religious, and I remember some church thing, but I've been to bat mitzvahs, so I'm mostly familiar with Jewish stuff.
They sing a little song, they do all sorts of fun stuff at the bat mitzvahs. It was
fun. Yeah,
if you're 13, it's a good time out. It's a hell of a party when you're 13, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, why isn't PETA asking people to ban fireworks? That's my question. How come
Yeah.
PETA isn't? PETA doesn't like going head to head with too many companies though, unless it's like really bad, like Coach or LVMH or some of these, because they always, I don't know. Like when I was with PETA, I couldn't go to protest KFC because KFC is talking about bringing back their Beyond Meat option. But it's like, and I get it, but to me,
Maybe Our Honor needs to be the group that really pushes KFC a little bit more when PETA will radical flank PETA.
the radical flank
And I
will
think
radical flank.
veterinarians have long wanted to radical flank PETA because they always criticize PETA for killing animals in their shelters, for not being animal rightsy enough, I guess. So
Yeah, I
maybe
can't
we'll
even
get vets on board with
I can't even
radical
get vets to
flanking.
sign my SavePluto.org letter.
I
That's
know,
what I
where
need.
is everybody? This is
Yeah.
weird. We got to send it to our big list, I think. Our big list of vets.
Yeah, we could send it to. Maybe we should just next vet thing. We'll just have Save Pluto. That'll be the whole thing. Just,
Yeah.
ban fireworks. Why can't we get vets behind it? Well, I like fireworks. Why can't you sell Adaptil? We're making all this money selling all this Adaptil.
I really don't
Trazodone.
think most vets, we have too much work. Like, we're not looking for job security that way. We would rather not have to deal with the hit by cars and the all of the issues afterwards and the mad dash of everybody trying to order their trazodone prescriptions and everything. So
Right.
yeah, I don't.
Because they probably wait till last second, dog owners, don't they? They'll go
Yeah.
like
July
Trazodone.
3rd. No, gotta refill my trazodone.
Trazodone. Ugh.
We were having a conversation the other day at work. Wouldn't it be funny if there were veterinary medicine like ads the way that human pharmaceutical companies have ads? Like, like the ask your doctor about whatever.
Ask your
Viagra.
vet about Trazodone.
Ask your vet about trazodone. And a dog, like, I don't know, cowering with fireworks. And
Ask your
just don't
dog
see
about
that.
Flagell.
Flagell. You got diarrhea. Ask your vet about Panicure. I like Panicure for diarrhea better anyway.
What was the flagell? Metronidazole. Ask your dog about metronidazole.
It's an antibiotic, and that should not be your go-to for diarrhea. If you're like mad at your vet because they're no longer prescribing metronidazole for diarrhea, you should not. Your dog should not be on metronidazole for diarrhea. Do some Panicure. If it's little parasites, let's try some other things. But
I'll route profits from the ear protectors into banning fireworks. Good idea. Let's route profits from ear protectors into banning fireworks. I like it. We'll sell those, and we'll sell ear protectors, and then we'll use the money to ban fireworks. I love it. I love this idea.
Yeah. Oh, actually, so we should be starting our Vets United thing, and I just have to send a message to the chat.
Yeah, Vets United is gonna.
I accidentally told them it started at 4, which it's 5 now.
Yeah, on mine it started at 5 VU.
Yeah.
But okay, so can I ask you, since we're talking about animals again, you were talking about how you get dewormed. So how does one go about deworming oneself?
I mean, you should ask your doctor, honestly. I think there
You're
might
my
be
doctor. That's why I'm asking you.
I'm not a human doctor. You're the one species I can't treat.
So okay, so this isn't treatment. So how do I go about deworming myself?
I talk to your doctor, and they can prescribe you something.
I don't have a doctor.
There's over-the-counter stuff you can buy too.
Ivermectin, I can get it at the hardware store, right?
I don't think you can, actually.
How did Joe Rogan get his ivermectin?
He has a special doctor who gives him all of his peptides and stuff.
Special horse.
Yeah,
he's
like
doctor.
Dr. Nick. I'm sure he's a very, like, wouldn't it be fun although I would never want to be a veterinarian for celebrities, but I don't know. It would be fun yet stressful to
I
be like
don't have
Joe
worms.
Rogan
Crystal says I got
doctor.
worms. I don't think
I
I have worms.
I'm
She
not a
thinks
doctor, so I can't diagnose worms in humans.
no,
But
I
I'm just
don't have
saying,
worms.
I think we're not studying human parasites enough because maybe we're like, oh, we're Americans. We're not like a third world country.
Yeah, we're not a
Really?
third world country. Why do I have worm? I don't need worms. It's totally true.
I don't know. You know, our eyelashes are full of Demodex mites.
They're mites. That ain't so
Yeah,
bad. They're
it's a
like
parasite.
but they're microscopic. I mean, my gut is filled with other microscopic critters. They're not the same thing as like
Giardia.
yeah, not what's
Yeah.
Giardia. Like, can't you just? They're not. I don't have hookworm. You know.
Pinworm. You never know.
You're
You
right. I
never
never do
know.
know.
How do
So
you
you
know
think
unless you test?
most people are out there walking around with worms?
I think we have not invested enough research into seeing at a population level our current parasite loads, our worm burden, if you will.
Our worm
Our
burden.
worm burden. What is the United States worm burden? We only test if people have a problem, and I feel like not enough people go to the doctor, not enough people push for testing. And I think we miss out. I think testing for a variety of things should be free, publicly funded, and we should periodically, hey, we're just going to test everybody for, parasites, and we're just going to see where we're at.
I get earworms from time to time.
How does that manifest? What species of earworm was the most recent?
I get it's weird. I get on kicks and I'll just obsess over songs and then I'll learn how to play them on guitar and then I'll play them quite well and then I'll be able to abandon them. I think that helps me. I don't know. How do you get rid of earworms?
Play it over and over and over again until I'm sick of it. That's how. Make spoof songs about it.
Make spoof songs too.
Yeah, like change the lyrics.
So I guess I don't know. I'm worried about. I'm not worried about worms until I talk to you, and then because you told me ivermectin is great, and so I think
you're misquoting me there, but it is great. But I'm not saying everybody should take it.
But shouldn't people who work with animals need to get dewormed?
Wouldn't it be interesting to do we want to do seroprevalence studies of like dairy vets and dairy workers? What is their seroprevalence of H5N1 antibodies?
We should be
it'd be nice to know the general public what's their seroprevalence so we have something to compare it to. And it'd be interesting to know like the parasite load of veterinarians and veterinary workers compared to the general population.
That would be interesting. I bet I'm guessing it's way higher. Yeah, way higher. What about bookworms?
Or not, because we're careful. Although I am shocked at how many of my staff do not wear gloves. Whenever I examine animals nowadays, I will wear a mask and gloves. And mostly because that's just like gross.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like drooly dogs. I don't want that on my hands and poopy butts. So I wear gloves, but a lot of people don't. And how often are you washing your hands? So I think, if you're working in the veterinary field, wear gloves when you're touching patients. It's gross not to.
I miss the days when I was wearing gloves all the time. I thought it was great. I liked having an excuse to wear gloves. I wish I wore gloves. Now when I go outside, I want to wear gloves as well. Like when I'm in an airport, especially, everyone's so gross. But then I feel like I'm going to be one of those weird germaphobe. There is a real social pressure now, right? Like, why are you wearing a mask? Why are you wearing gloves? It's like, because airports are disgusting. I don't want to,
Mhm.
but when I go to when I see people in professions that are messy, let's just call them that, it's shocking to me how many people don't wash their hands. Like,
That's so gross.
yeah, I was in hospitality a long time, and I was always telling people, I was reminding people to wash their hands. Boss, I just washed my hands. I don't care. We're doing a drill. Everyone's washing their hands, and I would do that because I didn't want to have people get sick, and they're using the same devices. It doesn't matter that
Mhm. That
are.
I sanitize my phone. I spray it with alcohol too.
Mhm.
So that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would go up and I would sanitize the POS screens because
Mhm.
people, and then I worked at a place that once had biometric. So rather than type in a code to put an order in at a restaurant, they would just use their fingertip. And when they did that, it wouldn't always work, because in Vegas it doesn't always work because it's dry out there. So what do you think they did?
I don't know. Ew. Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Oh my
They go to your
God.
table, they take your order.
That's disgusting.
Hmm.
What the
They
hell?
got to do the job. That's the only way it works. They all got used to it. It's like that episode of of Parks and Rec where they all just do that thing with the water fountain, And they all
I
do,
didn't watch Parks and Rec. I don't know
you haven't
which
seen
ones you have.
Parks
No,
and Rec,
I
and
yeah,
I'm watching Severance.
I mean,
You got to watch Parks and Rec. It's got Adam Scott in it. You love Adam Scott. He's
I
in
like the show. I don't know if I
Severance.
love him. But okay. He's weird. He looks like he's had work done or
He looks
something.
like Tig Notaro.
I don't know who that is.
He looks like Tig
And I
Notaro.
don't want to shame people. I'm
No.
not about that, but he's got a very interesting face that it looks like it was crafted by Hollywood or something.
Yeah, he looks a lot like, okay, so just because that's Tig Notaro,
Oh, I love her.
especially this
Them.
picture. This picture looks a lot like Adam Scott.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like the
Totally. Like just
hair,
the
right?
cheeks.
Yes.
He's got very prominent cheeks.
Yeah. They look like they're related, right? They just
Yeah.
I think they look like they're brother and sister.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. And then Adam Scott. Oh, not Tig, Adam Scott. Sorry. Adam Scott there.
Yeah. It's the cheeks.
That's a young picture of him, but especially
Yeah.
yeah, the cheeks, the hair. Come on. I think they're related.
So anyway, Veterinarians United, we are joining together to unite the veterinary profession and advocate for change. So this is why we kind of latched onto the savepluto.org thing, because that also is uniting the veterinary profession to advocate for change. So, but one of the big campaigns that we're working on is trying to address the unethical use of animals in teaching. And yeah, we need to learn how to do things on animals, but we're finding a lot of schools purchase animals from bioscience companies and kill them when they could be adopted out. And instead of having students learn on animals who need surgeries or procedures under the guidance of experienced veterinarians, they are just practicing once on an animal and then killing them. So this is not good. It's not good for the students. It's not good for the veterinary profession. And we're trying to move away from that. One thing I found recently was that we had this big West Coast veterinary conference, and there were a bunch of wet labs, and some veterinarians were concerned that the wet labs used a lot of young beagles. And where did those beagles come from? I sent a letter to the organization who put it on and asked, hey, we're just interested in how you source your animals. and nobody got back to me. So what should we do now? Like, would people be interested in joining some sort of letter writing campaign to this company and trying to figure out what are you doing and can you do it better? So I'd love your thoughts on that, because we don't know where they got their animals. Like, ideally, we would want them to be older animals who were euthanized because they'd reached the end of their life and their quality of life declined, and their caretakers decided to donate their body so that veterinarians can learn these
Yeah,
procedures.
like
That would
donate
be
your body to
ideal.
science. Yeah, I thought I used to think that that's what everybody did. You donated because growing up with dogs, we had a lot of dead dogs over the years, and we always donated their corpses to science. I thought my mom would always say, "Well, some veterinarian is going to learn from
Yeah,
the animal." Yeah,
absolutely. But it's weird that they're not getting back to us and answering that question. So, should we maybe have the people in the chat send a letter too? I
yeah.
never want to annoy these companies. I don't want them to feel like they're going to be attacked because that's what animal activists have done in the past. They usually attack these groups and smear them and defame them, and that's not what we're about. We think that most veterinarians would like to create more ethical systems, but for whatever reason, they've gotten used to doing things this way. They are surrounded by a bunch of people who say, like, yeah, this is fine, this is for the best, when really it's not. And it's kind of like, imagine you have somebody, again, the same example of some man who leads an organization and he's romantically pursuing all the young women, and nobody complains about it until somebody does. And then suddenly he's like, no, I'm being unfairly attacked by the Me Too movement and whatever. When it's like,
Yeah,
somebody
because
just needed to set you aside and say, bro, look,
years ago.
dude. And that's you just, we were just telling this group, bro, dude, it's time.
Dude,
Stop that.
Dude,
Dude, bro.
Dude, bro.
Like,
Why are you doing
women,
this?
we have the girl, baby girl.
Is that what you say, baby girl?
When things are really bad, baby girl.
Baby girl.
We just need
Dude,
somebody
bro.
say, dude, bro.
Bro.
It's time. Don't.
Stop.
It's not good.
Bro.
Don't.
So this company, we don't know where they're getting their dogs, basically.
No, we don't. But they're not answering my email. Should somebody else email? Maybe we don't have very many people in the chat. Maybe a couple of you could email them and ask too. We don't want to bombard them with 50 emails.
Put the email in the chat.
Okay, let me pull this up.
What are we asking? So the
We're just
company
asking where they come
where
from.
are you sourcing your corpses, your cadavers?
I can copy and paste the language here.
Your doggy cadavers. Because right now they're getting doggy cadavers from someplace, and then they sell them? Is that what they're doing? They're selling the cadavers to.
So a lot of biosciences companies sell, cadavers to continuing education or vet schools for use on in these labs
like
to train.
Cadaver procurer.
So these animals are purposefully bred and then killed for educational purposes, when in reality, we don't need to do that anymore.
Oh, maybe they're from Marshall. I know about Marshall Bioresources. That's one I've heard of.
Yeah.
That's a large dog
there's a lot of
for
them.
labs. But they're breeding dogs for labs to be experimented on. But are they breeding dogs to be killed and sold as cadavers? Like, that's...
Or sometimes when animals are done with their research, they're killed for that. So here, I'm just going to put...
So when they're done with their research and they're quote-unquote sacrificed, then they are sold. But that doesn't make any sense. They're being sold from the labs. They're given back. Like, after the test, they're given back to somebody to do that to. Outsource.
Sorry, what?
I'm reading your what's it say? Al sources. Beagle sources? Al sources? What is Al sources? What
I
did you
don't know
do
what you're
here?
talking about.
I'm reading your
Oh, is
chat that you
it?
just
Did I
dropped.
have a? Do I have a error? A
Al
typo in there?
sources. Any information you could provide would be greatly appreciated.
I'm not any.
All right, if I go up to your first one,
I'm not here.
sample
I'll
letter.
actually just share the Google Doc with
If you
everybody.
could, we were wondering if you could share some insight into how your organization acquires cadavers. Are they sourced through client donations, biomedical supply companies, shelter euthanasia programs, or other avenues, including internal sources? I see. It's another internal sources. Any information you could provide would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. What's their email address? Is it in the doc?
No, it's not. And so this is I don't want to get in trouble for defaming a group because we don't know how they do things. We just know that they haven't responded to my email. So this is Viticus Group, and everything I've heard about them has been great. So there's several emails that you could do. I just sent it to the education department, but there's other emails that maybe we should send to. And again, I've heard nothing but good things about them.
We just have a little question. We're just guys asking questions.
We're just asking questions. So here,
I'm just a dude bro asking questions.
Yeah. I don't. There, I posted some email addresses in the chat that came out all funky. I don't.
Dr. Anthony Pease at viticusgroup.org. Okay.
So there's a couple of different email addresses: support, education, academy. So yeah.
Can you put the? Do you have Signal open? Can you put this the Google Doc into maybe the Vegan Sunday School Signal, and then we can. Yeah.
I'll put it in I'll put the email addresses in the Google Doc too.
That's a good idea. I wish I had that idea.
That's easy.
That's what I was thinking.
We're demystifying activism and showing you in real time.
How easy it is.
How we decide.
Yes.
Because you think, oh, they are slick. They've got this plan all ready to go. No, now you're seeing how plans are hatched in real time.
Indeed.
And it's not always as slick and smooth as
No, sometimes you get kicked off of StreamYard for no apparent reason. Okay, so the Viticus Group let's say, who is their customer is what I want to know. So the Viticus Group has a client. Who is the client?
Other veterinarians. They put on continuing education for veterinarians to come and learn how to do procedures and learn more and get their continuing education credits and all of that.
So Viticus buys the cadavers from someplace.
Hey, dude.
What, dude?
No.
What?
They do not.
I'm trying to understand. Tell me then.
You're saying Viticus buys cadavers. We do not know that.
Okay, so the cadavers come from someplace.
Yeah, and we just don't know where they source them from.
Okay.
Like, don't get us in trouble.
They don't buy them. Okay.
Be
somehow
doing it in a completely ethical way. They could.
So Viticus, what does Viticus do for a living? They provide continuing education for veterinary professionals, and that requires oftentimes cadavers, and those cadavers come from someplace.
Yeah, and we don't know where.
And or whether or not they got them for free, apparently, because that's how America works.
Because sometimes they can be donated by people whose animals have passed away and want to donate them
directly to Viticus.
To them to, have veterinarians learn on, which would be great. And that's what we want for them.
Yeah.
We want to help companies move away from purchasing purpose-bred animals from biosciences companies who are
Got it.
then just going to be killed for the purpose of education, because that's bad for the veterinary profession. That's bad for the veterinarians who have to be put in this position where they have to decide, do I learn, do I participate in this lab that has sourced their cadavers unethically, or do I just not learn this procedure that way?
Yeah.
Which puts them in a morally compromising position, and it puts all the people who work for Viticus Group in a morally compromising position, because they're like, do I quit this organization that it does train veterinarians and does great work training veterinarians, or do I, leave this job because they don't align with my values?
Yeah, I mean, I would also argue it's probably not good for the animals either to be bred into
No.
this and then just for the sole purpose of this.
But we live in a world where
Bred to be
society gives the social license to use animals for the purpose of education. We do it in high school. High school kids are forced to dissect animals that are
Yeah, I had to do it.
purchased from these bioscience company. That's such an unnecessary use of animals, especially when, like, I imagine the future of those high school classes where they learn anatomy and dissection to
Mhm.
be, if it exists still, but animals who died at modern intensive protein facilities,
Mhm.
those facilities have to give those bodies to schools. And if it's a higher division graduate program, those graduate students can figure out what killed this animal. But they see firsthand, if you're still eating chicken, this is an example of what the chicken you're eating went through. And they learn, let's not sugarcoat it for the students. This is an animal who died in our industrial protein production facilities.
That's a great way of looking. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many frogs. I'm going to Google how many frogs are used, but 560 million, I know this number, 560 million chickens die of disease and neglect before slaughter. They die just as industrial waste. So why aren't we using them and sending them to high schools? We should send them to high schools. If we gotta dissect people, or if someone's got to get dissected, maybe it should be chickens that we've taken from that died before slaughter. That makes perfect sense to me. Every state has a chicken farm, I'm pretty sure. That's not 560 million just from one place. I love this idea, because then people would also see what a chicken goes through.
It's not your usual, what you see on the package, a white, shiny chicken, with white, clean feathers. No, you'll see a dirty chicken who's been maybe cannibalized by their pen mates, and, what they went through. And then you dissect a chicken that you might be cooking one just like them for dinner when they're all cleaned up and packaged in styrofoam. It might make people think about their choice of protein.
Yeah, I just Googled the frog number, and it's funny because it says that number is not exactly tracked, but it's estimated only. I say only because I know that 120 million animals every year in America are vivisected, and I don't think that frog dissection counts, but 12 million animals, including frogs, are used for dissection in US every year. 12 million. Well, I've got 256 million chickens, so 256 million dead chickens.
You can easily replace.
Easily.
And all you people that vegan teacher, like, do you work at a school? Like, what is your school doing?
She doesn't work at a school anymore. She's just called that vegan teacher now.
Can we mobilize the teachers and get them to change the system? All the biology teachers, like, please. Because, you think of how many people are like, ew, frogs, I won't eat frog legs or whatever. That's
Mm,
gross. Might it be
mm.
because you had to dissect frogs in high
Could
school and
be.
you're still associating that? What if we switched that
God, I could
and
still
made it
smell it.
chicken and you're
Yeah.
dissecting chickens now who had died? It would be different. But
Yeah, 'cause
also,
it
we don't want to turn people off. Like, I think a lot of would-be veterinarians who are vegans ended up opting out of those labs that dissected animals and then ultimately don't become veterinarians,
mm,
which harms our profession because we miss out on their compassionate perspectives. Because they're like, starting in high school, they're like, oh, I guess this track that involves a lot of dissection and animal use doesn't align with my
mm,
values, so I'm going to
mm.
not do that. When it's like,
Yeah.
no, we want you to become veterinarians, like, push through, please. Um,
It's hard though to ask people to push through when they decided so early. God, I mean, I had to dissect a frog. It's funny. I was taking biology in high school, and they wanted me to go out and like take bugs and pin them to a board and then make a report on it. And I said no, I'm not doing that. And then they told me I had to dissect a frog, and I said no, I'm not going to. And they said, well, you're going to fail. And I said, okay, well, I'll just stop showing up for this class. You can do what you want. So I'll just start. And this is in high school, right? This isn't a college course. So that wasn't quite normal for a high school student to do.
wow.
And so, but what that meant is that I had to go and do the class in summer school if I wanted to graduate. And of course I did. So I went to summer school and I took it. And guess what? In come the frogs. I still didn't get out of the frog thing.
Oh my God.
And at this point, it's like, well, you have to now. You have to dissect a frog. And I told the teacher, I said, I dissected a frog and a pig and a pig embryo and a pig eyeball when I was in the 7th grade. I shouldn't have to do this. I've already done this and I don't want to do it. Like I've done it and I don't want to do it again. And they said, well, you have to participate or you're going to fail. And
That's
so I went,
crazy.
yeah. And so I went along with it. This is back in like 1994 or something.
Yeah.
But and I hear it's changed. I hear it's a little bit better for kids now. But it's so messed up, right? Like I remember it very vividly. And I wasn't I was like on and on. That was back, I was kind of vegetarian, back when I was 16, 17, 16 maybe. Anyway, it's a horror show. And if I wanted to be a vet, I loved animals, but there was no way I was going to go and dissect a bunch of animals to
hmm
become a vet. No friggin' way.
Yeah. But would it matter to you whether they were ethically sourced and if they had died of natural causes or like were euthanized, or are you
Maybe.
just grossed out by
No, I
stuff?
wasn't grossed out at all. I was very,
Okay. It
very
was,
sang-froid about it. Like once I was told I had to, I excelled at it because you had to do it and then you had to draw the picture of it and the whole thing. No, I got an A+ in biology. I
nice.
had the highest grade in the class. And so I wasn't like squeamish. I just was pissed. I didn't want to. It was about sourcing because it started out with the bugs, right? I didn't want to go into a wild area. And I felt like I'm going into their home and I'm going to
Yeah.
kill a bug. I'm going to capture the bug, put him in a jar, kill him by
Ugh,
suffocation, and then pin him to a board for
that's
this stupid project.
yeah, that's
That
awful.
pissed me off.
That's just like normalizing kids to violence.
Hmm. I know that Lisa says you have the right not to dissect. That is a violation of your rights. I know many children out there, computer simulated programs. Yeah, I mean, I've heard this. When I did my vivisection tour with PETA, we talked about this. There are opt-out rules for lots of universities too now. But those weren't common in 1990, whatever I'm talking about, 1995 maybe. So it was, different world. Maybe it did and I didn't know.
Yeah.
But back then, I mean, we've had freedom of speech for high school students since the Vietnam War, and they still expel kids all the time for having political views or whatever. That still happens all the time.
Yeah. So we are working on this webpage for Veterinarians United. So we can check that out here. And maybe we can go through. I wish Lorraine was here, but I think she's probably busy.
She's doing veterinary school
What we
stuff.
want to do for it. I don't know. How do we feel about the color scheme here?
I love it. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I know we've gone back and forth. I think it's great though.
I know we kind of were talking about adding another page where veterinarians could maybe apply to like speak at schools, you know, and kind of share their perspectives. We could work on drafting that form today. What am I about to? I don't know. I think I have to. Oh, my trial expires sometime. So we could do that. We could work on like that page. Like, but I feel
think
like we should
I really want to do a. I think the Veterinarian United logo should look like a chevron if it's going to be like, you know,
co-opting the army
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Do you know?
like two V's, like the two carrots.
Yeah, a V and a U, but like a chevron. We could do
Oh.
that.
Mm-hmm. Or we make the U a V, like it's all Latin style where the V and U's are the same. Veterinarians United. Be kind of cool.
Do you feel like playing around in Adobe or whatever you use to make logos, and
Yeah,
we can
I'd
work
love
on
to do
making a
that.
logo? I can. You can share your screen and we can do that together.
Yeah, let me see if I can get my.
I don't know anything about Photoshop or Adobe or whatever.
Yeah, I can get my Illustrator open. Let me see how. I just deleted like everything on my computer so that it's not so.
Kathy's mom refused to dissect a frog in high school, and that was back in the 40s. She opted to write a report instead. I'm sure back then they were like, "Oh, the woman is squeamish."
Oh yeah, probably.
You know?
Maybe they
Or
did.
like,
Yeah, they probably did.
could vetmed science Could vetmed science intentionally be restricting compassionate people from it to prevent more highly respected professional objectors from interfering? Absolutely. I've talked about this. And if you cannot, don't go into your vet school. Well, some students bravely have gone into their vet school interviews and said, I'm vegan. Because, they have the grades and the GRE scores and the letters of rec and the hours. And they're like, try me. But if you're on the border, like I would not recommend doing that. Because there was one time one of the people on the admissions board said, basically, a vegan will get into vet school over my dead body. He's a pork producer. You have people who literally work in research labs and who are producers who are on these admissions committees. So you can't do good or derogation, can't make them feel bad about what they're doing. So.
Yeah, I mean, let me see if I can share my screen, see if this works.
But are we a science-based profession or not? Shouldn't we have this discourse and talk about this?
I think so.
Blank slate. Are you able to capture the colors from our website and use it in Illustrator? I don't know.
I can, absolutely, but we're gonna have to do an approximation just because of what's happening with. Because I can do that for sure. Like I could get any color I want, but first I have to find out what the hex is.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Canva. It lets you I would just copy and paste. I think I can find the hex numbers for you.
Yeah,
here.
Or I can do the copy and paste thing too. Is it veterinariansunited.org?
Oh, it's just I can add you to it. I don't have a link to the URL yet. It's just on Squarespace, and I haven't even paid for it yet. I don't think so. It's not
well, it doesn't matter. We could do the colors later, and we can mess with that. It doesn't. You know what I mean? Like we could just say yellow a little more, and because it's not going to be final anyway, But because we did have some kind of gray background on there, and if I say like Veterinarians United,
Our yellow is FFC 700, if that helps.
FFC 700.
Yeah. And our gray is 383838. 383838. It's easy.
3838. Are you sure it's FFC 700?
That's what it says.
FFC 700. Oh yeah, there it is. Then we can just like, and what did you say? 383838? 383838. Well, that's a dark ass gray. Okay. Cool. Veterinarians United. But I was thinking like we've got a million fonts, but I was thinking like maybe just using the V, like just a nice big to make it real simple, like but it's got to be a fat V. So where's my fonts at? Here they are. Like a big fat V. No, that's not good.
What are we making here? We are making a logo for a new organization called Veterinarians United.
Veterinarians United. Oh, that's kind of more what I was thinking. And if I could do it, but I wanted to be able to nest them, which I can't really do right here. But maybe I can like, if I just do like this, let me see, he'll be like this. If I could take this and Alt expand, I was thinking about something very kind of like something kind of, because I just wanted to be something kind of militant with the not militant, but military-esque, you know, like.
And we're thinking about adding a purple to this. There's a lot of enthusiasm for that.
We could do something
make
kind of
one of them purple.
We could do that's a good idea. We do like a purple, and this becomes
less red purple, more blue purple. But you know,
we can. Let me just do this really quickly.
Okay.
So because this can be FF5EF, just so they all match, because then we can recolor the artwork all by itself, because then we can do this FF5EF. Oh, that was not the right one.
I don't like the V that has the flat bottom. Like, can we have a V with a pointy bottom?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was going to see if I can get them nested, and thinking like we can find another V in here that has like kind of a. So I mean, we can do all sorts of, but I wanted to keep that kind of chevron vibe. Let's see if we can find what the.
Oh, there was a pointy V a couple ones ago.
You saw one? This one?
No. There was another one I thought, but maybe not.
Definitely there was, but I'm going so fast. I'm sorry. Right. I'm kind of a. No.
Maybe there wasn't.
We can also just make it pointy. I can just.
Yeah.
I can force it. Doesn't have to be. We don't have to do what they say. We don't have to do what they say. Looks like God, the serif one keeps coming up because I keep on seeing the point at the bottom.
Is there such thing as a sans serif with a pointy bottom? Maybe there's not.
There has to be. I kind of. There's got to be one. Come on, man. Um, I don't see. Let's see. Nope. But I can go in there and see. I can just outline it,
Mhm.
and then let me just adjust the layer really fast. And then if I would just cut this. No, there's a better way to do
While we're
this.
doing this, y'all should go to savepluto.org. Jackie Boyle signed on. So now we're up to 46.
Jackie Boyle, cut it. Way to go, Jackie Boyle.
Lots of J's representing today. Justin,
J's.
Jonathan, Jamie, Jackie.
Okay, great. If I look down here, I go, I think Command J does this to join these. Cannot be joined as they are invalid objects. I think I can join them though. Join them. Select object cannot be joined as they are invalid objects, compound points, paths. I don't know why it's not letting me do that, but
Could just put, yeah.
it's a little bit, let me see. If I could take this and then get rid of that and then get rid of this one, and it starts to look closer to what we wanted, right? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's kind of looking slick already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to have to get polished, but just obviously this font is not what we want, but it's just myriad. But get a decent font going here that is like a nice sans serif font.
I like that.
That one?
Yeah.
Quick type condensed. Okay. That works.
We could work on this purple though. It's a little bit too pink, too reddish.
Oh, so I can do something there too. Hold
yeah.
on, let me lock this and we'll do edit colors, recolor artwork. Oh, reset that. Make it more. Let's see here. You just want to make it more blue. It's a little too blue. How's that? Purpley?
Yeah, I don't. Can we make it darker? I'm worried darker might. At what point does it not look good with the background? That's good there, darker? Maybe. Yeah.
That's kind of a Darkwing Duck vibe. Here we can also take the black out a little bit, but it's pretty dark. Like that?
Yeah. That works.
Okay, I like it too.
Could even make one of them like the caduceus.
Oh,
how do you say that?
I always say caduceus, but that doesn't mean I'm saying it right. How do you say it?
I don't know. It changes. on the daily.
Yeah. It's got this. I mean, it looks pretty. I don't know. I'm liking it. I would like to. I don't know.
Oh, that's surprising. Our stream on Twitter got a content warning. I don't know why
What?
that would be. Yeah,
That's
it's like
funny.
blurred out. I don't think we showed anything
No.
that was graphic.
No, we did
So,
not.
hmm.
So much for freedom of speech, huh, Elon?
Mm-hmm. That's weird.
So it's kind of cool to also see like what it looks like on white, and I think it kind of holds up because sometimes things appear on white and not just on black, you know?
Yeah, let's see what it looks like on all of the things.
Yeah, and then like, or also like if we did it just in black and white, if we took this and like, we took this and did it like in, where's my color palette? Come on now. Convert to grayscale. Not bad, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can also do, let me try something a little bit different too. We'll do,
Can you try like making the V's like wider angle, narrower angle? See that?
yeah, exactly. I was going to do a couple like little differences too. Like we can
Mhm.
also do where I take this. It starts looking like I was thinking like maybe, I don't know. It doesn't really work with the rounded. I kind of like it just because the chevron idea of
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be that either though. Veterinarians United could be all sorts of. We could do, although it does look kind of sick. Like thicker V's, what you were saying?
I just like make the angle widen the angle, you know what I mean? Just see what
Oh, I see what you mean.
is that
Yeah,
possible.
of course. And this is like, well,
Mm.
like I can do all sorts of stuff, but I'll have to like adjust it a little bit, be a little careful. Normally I just go hunting for a font and spend a bunch of time
Yeah.
doing that, but because like this is the V's still look a little wonky. It still need a
Yeah.
little polish. But just for like messing around, yeah.
You can even just the lower V, keep it as a V, but round the bottom and round the inner angle to make it just slightly, just so it's slightly giving you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we wanted to keep it that same look, but just slightly more you looking.
Okay. Sorry, I've got to just get like I gotta take one of these anchors out. There we go. Yeah, you can do like a you can do kind of, it's kind of like, it'll look a little wonk. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to like draw, like do a cut of like a circle. Yeah.
Do like a what do you mean? Do a cut of a circle?
Like I wish I could take a circle right at the point, like, and then erase where the circle doesn't go. You know,
Yeah, I can do
do it
that.
by
I
hand.
can.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if I do a
Like
circle
put a little
and I
circle right
do,
there. Yeah, but make the circle diameter match the V as it is. So make the circle smaller.
mhm.
Right there. Make it a little bit smaller.
And then you want me to cut out
And then
the.
cut out the point. Or you
Got
could
it.
even make, cut out the point there.
Mm, mm,
No, yeah.
Hold on a second. I don't remember. There's one that I am looking for in my Pathfinders. Mm. Give me just 1 second. It's one of these. I don't want to merge it. I want to like, I thought I wanted to divide it. No, it's not working. Damn it.
Is there any sort of eraser tool in
Yeah, there's an eraser
Adobe?
tool, but it's like,
And I would just erase along the border, but
there's a way to just blow it out, just cut it out. And I'm just trying to
Mhm.
find that really quick. Why does that have the same? It's so annoying. Here's what we're going to do.
Hmm.
I don't know why this isn't working. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell. Maybe it's because, oh, you know why? Because they're not quite. I see what the hell's going on now. Gotta go back to this view.
Mm.
Because this is not lining up with this. There we go. Fun stuff. Everyone was really excited to see some behind the scenes.
We wanted to demystify activism. It's not always exciting stuff. And it's also just figuring out how things work. Because, I could show people Canva and Squarespace and stuff, but I don't know anything about Photoshop, Adobe stuff. So I'm learning too.
You're supposed to be able to, I don't know. Normally I'd be able to do this a little bit more quickly. It's because like you ever have the thing where you do the stunt when your mom's watching and now
Mhm.
you can't do it because this is not. There we go. See, like it sort of did what I wanted. But let's see.
That's okay, but
It didn't. I
took
know.
out part of
It
the, yeah.
took out what I didn't want that to happen. So that's okay though, because we can still. Here we go.
Sensi Vegano says, I'm happy to share anything with the vets in the deserts. I missed some of what was going on, but let me know and I'll do whatever you need. Please share savepluto.org with your vet. Share this with the veterinarians in your area, this live stream. Share our honor with veterinarians in your area. But yeah, let's just get more veterinarians to sign on to savepluto.org. And also, we are very politely asking Viticus Group how they source their cadavers. We don't know, and they didn't respond to my email. So I would just like a few more people to maybe email them, and you can go to this document and copy and paste the letter and send it to them and see if we get a reply.
And that was a lot for a little rounded edge. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and it still looks a
Sorry.
little
Yeah, a little wonky.
yeah.
But like I said, all these V's would have to be
Yeah.
F'd with anyway. But like, I feel like if we were gonna do that, I would just get another V. You know,
Mhm.
if you
Yeah.
wanted one rounded, like, because I would just like do if we're gonna do that, I would just like. Because you'd have to round the bottom. You'd have to round
Yeah.
this part too.
I'm getting there. Yeah. Just a little bit too. It's got.
Well, I'm just
It
freehanding
fattens
it.
up at the top, but yeah, no, that works.
Just freehanding it for now. I
Yeah.
could actually measure all that out and have it done.
Yeah. No, that
But like,
works.
if we're gonna have it match the angle, I don't know.
It's that looks good. I feel like we're getting there. Just make it all line up, and that's a pretty good logo.
Not bad.
Yeah.
But I might just like. I feel like. Yeah. I don't know.
And so we've got 46 signers on door letter. That's pretty sad, you guys. When there's 51 people watching this.
51 people
live
watching, but only
stream.
46 people have signed the letter. Damn it.
So can we get one more signer before we close off this live stream? That would make me happy. And really, we should have hundreds. Like we got 2,000 vets to sign on to Veterinarians Against Ventilation Shutdown. We should have 50,000 vets signing on to this. Am I right? Like,
How did
we
you
should have
get so many?
a lot of groups collaborated on that and sent out stuff. So that really helped. And it was just, this big thing. And I got to do more about sharing this on various veterinary Facebook groups and on Veterinary Information Network to get more people to sign. So that's on me. But it's you too. Every single one of you knows, or at least can Google 10 veterinarians and share it with them. And yeah, maybe not all 10 will sign on, but even if you just get one to sign on, that'll be really good. So, well, it's 6:05. We should probably end it.
Oh,
So,
I was just
oh, you're almost
well, I was gonna do
done?
try to filter a sans serif and do like something kind of fun with it. Like
Okay.
I thought it might kind of be fun to do like ultra slim. I don't know.
Yeah. Could do that too.
And it doesn't. I don't know. This is just my first idea. When we were looking at the military colors, I liked the chevron idea because it just kind of
Mm-hmm.
plays into that. But it doesn't have to be either. I mean, we could think of. I mean, logos. We can do all sorts of stuff with logos. Find out maybe there's a symbol that we can use, like a caduceus, like you were saying. Do like a snake around it or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could be kind
Yeah,
of cool,
no.
right?
I think we've come up with some good things.
Some kind of a snake that goes around or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'll save
But
it.
I
And
do want to get to
we can revisit
yoga
it. Oh, you're going to
at
yoga.
7
Sorry.
o'clock.
Terribly
So,
sorry. I didn't know that we had yoga planned at 7. All right, I got to
I
go too
mean,
because
I mean, I don't think you've told me you don't want to go past 6 o'clock. So I'm
you're
just
right. I
letting you know.
don't. You're right. Sorry. 6 o'clock. You're right. I've got to eat. I haven't eaten yet today. All I've had today is a spoonful of peanut butter.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been working, man. I'm trying to get stuff done. I was working on a bunch of our honor stuff, and I've got a new
Nice.
video. I've got a new video coming out, and so this one's going to be fun. It's about the travel restrictions.
Oh, cool.
It's the first
Are there
video I've
travel
made.
restrictions?
There are
Let's
new
see.
travel restrictions. It's the first video that's going to be on my channel that isn't animal rights related, really. But it's the travel restrictions. It is. I do sneak in a little bit about dogs, cats, and birds being free, and we're the only species who isn't free naturally. I think that's kind of a that's my little wink at animal rights. But it's about we have in America now we have to have real ID starting May 25th, which means that poor people, disabled people, and lots of others who can't have access won't be able to travel. People who
Yeah.
have hard times getting access, also people who are misgendered in their birth certificates, they won't be able to get real ID because they'll have to put a different gender than the one they associate with. That's going to be an issue. Mexico is now enforcing. Mexico and Canada are enforcing really strict rules about
Yeah,
who
the
can
30-day
enter.
thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Heard about
In
that.
May, they are also European Union is starting to demand paid and advanced visas from American citizens so that we won't be able to freely travel in Europe anymore. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I don't know. Does it worry you at all? I think it's
Yeah, it
something
worries me because I canceled. I reported my passport as lost, and I still haven't gotten my new one yet.
Yeah, but at least you've got yours coming, right? You're not like,
No, I still haven't gotten all my paperwork in line, and I need
oh
to do that, and I'll
no.
do it tomorrow. So yeah,
You better do it because when they privatize the post office, who knows what
I
the
know.
service is? Who knows if you'll be able to get service? They'll be like, well, we're not limiting travel if you have a passport. And it's like, yeah, but I can't get a passport. It's kind of like, we're
Yeah.
not limiting immigration, the legal just do it legally. And there's no way to do it legally. It's like,
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm worried.
so anyway,
I wanna
that's what
get
the
it
next
done.
video is about. So it's going to be exciting. And I'll talk to you later on then after yoga.
Are we talking later on after yoga or
No,
tomorrow?
I was
We
probably
don't have a
text.
later thing planned.
No,
I hope.
probably I was just saying like maybe I'll text you later.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Talk to you
bye
later.
everybody. Thank you so much for everybody for hanging out.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Bye.